Hello, this is my tic-tac-toe project. This was programmed using Kotlin in Android Studio. And I'll go ahead and just run through a quick demo of the project. So it opens up and it'll tell you whose turn it is, as well as a grid of buttons that you can click. And it will cycle through each person's turn, as well as whose turn it is on the display. The game continues until eventually somebody wins, and it will tell you who wins, and you're able to reset the board, and it switches to the next player's turn, so that now O starts because X won last. And if we just let O win, we can reset and let X win. Going back to the main menu, we'll reset it. Right now, single player mode does not work, only double player mode does, though clicking the button still brings you to the game. As well, the points do not update, but I will show you the code to that right now as well. So it starts off, we initialize all of our buttons and all of our views, as well as the values that we will use later in the game. We attach the variable buttons to the buttons that are on the screen, one button for each square, as well as set an on-click listener to each button that we have, as well as set the text to whoever's turn it is right away. We have our on-click, which is the main use of the function, which checks, it'll pull the ID of whatever button is pushed so that we know which square we're looking at. It makes sure that the text, it'll only change the text if the text is empty, and it sets it to whatever turn it is. And then after it does that, it checks to make sure that the game is not over if there's not a win. It switches the turn and updates the label. And if a button is pushed while there is already a square, there's already a value in the square, pop-up doesn't change anything, and it gives us a pop-up letting us know that we need to select a different square. We then check to see if the win condition is true, and if it is, we'll change it to win. And then we try to add the points here and update the score label. Right now that is not working. We have our check win value, which has a loop here that checks for each horizontal and for each vertical array value, and then also our diagonals here. If any of these are true, then that means one of our players has won, and we can return true, knowing that whoever's turn it is right now is the winner. We have our switch turn, which is just a simple function that allows us to switch whoever's turn it is. And then we have our reset, which just sets our game values to blank, as well as reset the text on all of our buttons, and switches the turn, because we don't want this person who won or the person who started last to be the same person that starts. And then back to menu is the exact same thing, except we add a part here that pushes us back to the main menu. Going here, we can see all of our layout information. We use just black and white to keep it simple in all of our coloring. And that is the app.